Welcome to the Evening Review. My name is Sukhane Kache, and today we're going to be speaking to a nurse who was central to assisting COVID-19 patients in the intensive care unit. But before we go into that interview, please have a look at the front page. We are joined virtually by Mr. Shilunga, who was a nurse in the ICU units of one of our hospitals. Good afternoon, Mr. Shilunga.
Yes, good afternoon, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine. Mr. Shilunga, you were at the forefront of the battlefield, if one can say that, having dealt with COVID-19 patients in the intensive care unit. Tell us about your experiences having been or staring death in the face on a day-to-day basis and the dangers that you were exposed to and so forth.
Yes, thank you very much. Junior Shilunga, I'm also Secretary General for Namibia Nurses Union. So the situation currently now is very serious. Due to the number of COVID patients that we are getting on a daily, and the number of that have in our intensive care units. So we are getting a lot of patients every day, and some are recovering, some are not making it, but we are trying.
Mr. Shilunga, what we are hearing, particularly from your colleagues here in Windhoek, is that the main hospital or the referral hospital, the Katutura State Hospital, we find incidences where COVID-19 patients are being mixed with patients that do not have COVID-19. Is this also observable at the medical institution from where you are operating?
I really don't know the validity of that information, but all I can tell you is that sometimes, especially in the wards, you get a patient suspect case, and that suspect case you cannot refer that patient directly to the COVID department because we until the person gets the results, and maybe that is when people are saying. Patients are being mixed, the COVID one and the other patient. So after that, if the patient gets there, that is when you can refer the patient to the isolation unit.
Mr. Shilunga, I want to know if one takes consideration for what happened in your own experience. Can you take us through, what have you seen? What are the experiences that you could share? Having worked so up close and personal with COVID-19 patients. What is a day in the life of a nurse that is working in an ICU unit for COVID-19 patients?
Yeah, for my personal experience, at the beginning it was not that easy, looking at how people were perceiving and were talking about COVID. So, but throughout the process, we get used to give the care that the patient needs, and we have to be there, quiet. So it is not an easy thing to think about yourself, your health, and even myself, I got COVID through the process, but at least I have recovered, and some of our colleagues are still getting infected.
When you were infected with COVID-19 as a frontline worker, what was one of the things that was going through your mind?
No, it was a very tough battle because looking at how COVID patients because at the beginning it was not really an easy exercise since we didn't have, we were not really certain about the treatment of COVID. So for myself, I didn't get any tablets, but I stick to the remedies that I was recommended to take. And the fear was there. It is always there when you are not feeling well. It is not a good thing at all.
And then, Mr. Shilunga, last year particularly, there were complaints that healthcare professionals were not being provided with protective equipment to protect themselves against COVID-19. Is this still the case in our health facilities and in your own experience?
No, we fought for our healthcare workers to be protected, and we succeeded because the government started to procure PPEs on time. Because the problem was the delay in procuring and supplying of the personal protective equipment. So we decided we are going to engage the government so that they can first straight the process of supplying the PPEs to our people who are on the front.
We've heard reports, unverified, but we've heard reports and we are hearing from your professionals, doctors and even nurses, that interns are being subjected to go out and actively treat COVID-19 patients, taking into consideration that they may not have the requisite experience available to deal with COVID-19, and also in light of it being particularly new disease. What do you make of such developments?
Sorry, I did not get the question.
There's the issue of interns that are both doctors and nurses that have to take care of the COVID-19 patients. What is your assessment of this?
Yeah, no, the interns, as long as they are trained and they are given information concerning to the disease, then I don't have any problem, because the issue now is the shortage of staff in our healthcare facilities. We don't have enough doctors, we don't have enough nurses now, and as the number of patients increasing, it is a burden to all of us, and we just have to use of everyone as long as we are giving them all the relevant information that they need. Indians are people who school, I think, for more than 6 years, and they are allowed to practice by the health professionals. So I don't think we have to doubt their knowledge. I don't think we have to doubt their service at this moment.
And then, in closing, Mr. Shilunga, as a frontline worker, what message do you have for the Namibian nation and for your colleagues?
The message I can give is that now we are seeing people dying on a daily basis, and it must be an individual responsibility to take care of yourself or to take care of your family. We must follow the protocols as they were put in place by the government and by the WHO. We don't need to contravene those regulations, because it is our lives that we are losing, and we don't want to continue losing many lives as we are doing now. So the to the nurses and to the frontline workers, just to encourage them to keep giving quality care to our patients. We must not be scared, and those who are not getting proper PPEs, they must inform us so that we can alert the government to make sure that they are protected.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Evening Review, Mr. Shilunga.
Welcome, everyone.
Do stay tuned for the weather. Good night.